Hello YouTube. So tonight I want to talk about In a Violent Nature. Before I get started, I just want to say this will contain some spoilers. Anyways, let me get started. I'm gonna start off with the negatives first. I don't really have much negatives with this movie aside from it was a bit of a slow burn in the beginning, and I felt like the final scene more towards the end was kind of a bit unnecessary with the whole dialogue with the bear, even though we all know that she was talking about the killer. Yeah, that's pretty much it with the negative. Now let me get with the positives. I really like this movie. It does give me that type of I would say Friday the 13th, The Burning, Sleepaway Camp, that type of vibe, where the killer, it takes place in a camp in the woods, and I like how it's very POV as well. It just shows the killer on his angle as he's walking towards his victims and kind of sneaking up on them. It actually reminds me of the old Halloween where they show Michael Myers kind of they're just looking around and sneaking. I really enjoy that. I feel like this movie pays a lot of homage to Halloween, more so than Friday the 13th. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does pay homage to Friday the 13th as well, it feels like. Also kind of gave me that Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe as well. I don't know, there's something about it that kind of reminds me of it. I think it had to do with the killer, how grimy he looks with his, with his ripped up clothes. I don't know, it's something about it. What else? I like how the killer looks. There's a couple of scenes where he actually took off his mask and he has this grotesque look, because I think he got burned or I forgot what happened to him. There's a whole backstory that happened with him. I don't fully remember, but it was pretty tragic, and that's why he starts to go on a killing spree. And the kills, ooh man, those kills were brutal. I love them. And nothing CGI, no digital bullshit. It's all practical, and the practical doesn't even look cheap. It looks actually pretty realistic. I really liked it. There's a one scene that I really like, even though it wasn't very fully realistic. Is when he kills that one girl that was doing yoga. That was a nice brutal scene. Like I said, it wasn't very realistic, but it was definitely really brutal and unique. I'm not going to go into fully details, because I don't want to spoil it too much for those who haven't seen it yet. And also the finals, the last kill was pretty brutal too. How he hit his one victim in the face with the axe, and they just blood squirting out everywhere. But he doesn't stop there. He just kept on going on him as he hit the floor, and he's already dead. And you can just see the remains coming out, his brains, parts of you can see parts of his brains coming out and stuff like that. And he just kept on going and going and going and going, and you can actually see his girlfriend from a far distance, looking at his boyfriend getting basically hacked and looking all shocked. And then finally she takes out the little necklace because it belonged to him. His mother gave him the necklace. That's why she took it off, because it belonged to him. And she runs. She ended up escaping, and then she gets picked up by some lady, And actually, she does a very good job, the actress, of expressing the trauma and how when one lady was talking to her while she was driving to the hospital, she wasn't responding because she's in complete shock of what he witnessed or what she witnessed. And I thought they did a good job on that. I really liked how it pays homage to Halloween, like I said, especially toward the end, where toward the very end they show different angles of the area of the woods. And I feel like they paid a huge homage to the ending of Halloween, where they did the same thing with the house, but except this time they did it in the woods. And yeah, Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I really enjoy this movie. I give this movie a solid, you know what? I'll give this movie 5 stars. It's actually one of my favorite horror movies of 2024 so far. I mean, I'm still waiting for Maxine and Terrifier 3. So, you know, I'm gonna have to wait for, what, like another month or so? For Terrifier, I have to wait for October, I believe. And I will be reviewing those 2 movies as well, so stay tuned. And you all have a good night, and I highly recommend checking that movie, In a Violent Nature. You all have a good night now. Good night.